Let's talk about how to have your best hair days after 50. Today's video is sponsored by Hair Biology. Hello ladies and welcome to today's video. 3 big things have happened since you last saw me here. 1, I turned 59 years old. Happy birthday to me. I am inching very close to 60 now. 2nd, I spent a good hour in my hairdresser's chair this past week. Got a new do, but I also got lots of info to share with you. And then 3rd, Hair Biology reached out to me with some new products to try that I hadn't been trying before. And they wanted me to share a little bit with you about my experience with Hair Biology, which actually dates back about 2 or 3 years now that I've been using these products. So, you know what? Here's the truth. After we, go through menopause or in those premenopausal, perimenopausal years, whatever, as we age, our hair changes. And one of the things I love about Hair Biology, let's just go ahead and get this on the table, is that they are a pro-aging hair brand. And I love that because they recognize that our hair changes. We know it, don't we? We know our hair has changed. Like me, perhaps you have experienced some hair loss. It was about 5 years ago, I think. It was right after I started blogging that I began to have some major hair loss. Now, fortunately, that only lasted a season for me, like a year maybe, that I continued to have some hair loss and some thinning. And since then, I think if my hair has grown back a little bit, it's gotten a little bit thicker again, but I still do not have nearly the hair that I had just 10 years ago. Of course, another thing that's happened with my hair is I've turned gray and I let it go gray. So that was my choice, but it was either that or continuing to color, right? So either way, you're in a dilemma. And then another thing that happens as we get older is our hair gets drier. And it's just hard to retain moisture. And so because of that, our hair just tends to look more flyaway and more dry. And it also breaks more and it begins to thin because of that also. And then a 4th problem that I really didn't even realize until my hairdresser was talking to me about it is that your hair changes shape. Because as we get older and there's damage accumulation and just that loss of moisture, our hair kind of gets those bent shapes, if you notice that. And so therefore it looks more wiry and more out of control. Like you just can't even do anything with it some days. So those are 4 of the main issues that we run into with our hair is, of course, turning gray, moisture and hair loss, and then also just that damaged hair that just gets unruly. So today, let's talk about that. Let's talk about some of the things I learned from my hairdresser. She is a wealth of knowledge. My hairdresser actually just spent a week in New York working hair at New York's fall and winter fashion shows. She worked, I think, 3 or 5 of the different fashion brands there doing hair for them. So I know my hairdresser knows what she's talking about, and she gave me some good tips. Tip number 1 that my hairdresser gave me was you've got to use good products. In fact, she said really good hair is all about good products. And she says, I have really great hair. She says, especially for my age, my hair is very healthy. It is very vibrant. It does retain moisture pretty well. It's, looking pretty good for my age. And like I said, my hair loss is kind of minimized too. And I have to kind of think a lot of that health has to do with Hair Biology. I have been using Hair Biology almost since they came out several years ago, and I've loved it. I've used several of the different lines. Let me tell you about the different lines of shampoo and conditioner they have. Hair Biology does have a line of shampoos and conditioners for color-treated hair. It is called Vivid and Protected, and it actually will protect the color of your hair for up to 2 times longer. It's infused with biotin, and it helps your hair to retain the moisture it needs. They have a shampoo, a conditioner, and a color sealing mask. All those things really great for color treated hair. Hair Biology has a new line called Long and Revitalize. This shampoo and conditioner duo will strengthen your hair and protect it against the heat products that you use on your hair. It's infused with biotin to strengthen it. It also repairs damage and rebuilds breakage. The Long and Revitalize collection is not just for long hair, but I do think it would really really make it where you can grow your hair out long and it will still look healthy. You know, I think one of the reasons that so many women have their hair short as they get older is because our hair just gets so unhealthy that it doesn't look as good long as it used to. But with this new Long and Revitalized collection, you will get a treatment that rebuilds and it strengthens and nourishes your hair. It's infused with biotin, and it also is safe for color-treated hair. I have used Hair Biology's Silver and Glowing collection, and I love it. The Silver and Glowing collection reduces that dulling residue that your hair sometimes get as it turns gray, and it also makes it more shiny and vibrant. So sometimes I will alternate using the Silver and Glowing collection with the collection I'm using now, which is the Full and Vibrant shampoo and conditioner. The Full and Vibrant shampoo or conditioner are really created for those of us who have experienced some hair loss. It is going to help you enjoy weightless cleansing and hydration to bring back fullness and body to your fine, thin, or flat hair. It's also infused with biotin, and it is safe for color-treated hair, but this is really going to help to thicken and nourish that thin, flat hair, and it's just really going to make it look so much stronger and healthier. In this collection, they also have a thinning treatment. So you apply this treatment either after you've gotten out of the shower and your hair is still wet, or you also can actually apply it every day, even to dry hair. And what you want to do is shake it really well and then apply about 15 pumps to the root of your hair. So I just kind of draw some lines in my hair and go through and give a nice little thin line of the treatment product all over my scalp. And then I just massage it in really gently, getting it really thoroughly into all the places along my scalp and even out onto my hair. I tell you what, I really noticed my hair feeling a lot lighter and fuller since I've started using this particular line of Hair Biology shampoo and conditioner. It really is making it almost have so much body that I have to kind of tame it down a little bit. But I love the way it feels. It feels so light, and I feel like my hair stays really clean for several days as I use this shampoo because the product is so light. It's really it's not heavy on my hair, so it doesn't build up, like some products do. I have enjoyed using these products for several years now, and I really think that you'll like this line that really is created for women over 50 and the unique needs that our hair has. Shop these and the other Hair Biology products at your local Meijer or through the link below in the description box. Now, the next tip that my hairdresser gave me is that we need to have a good haircut. She told me that as we get over 50, it just becomes even more important that we maybe keep up our hair appointments a little bit more often even, just so that the ends of our hair are really nice and even, things that just look really trimmed and really freshly cut. Because like I said, we had that kind of a damaged looking hair. It gets kind of wiry and all that sort of stuff as we age. And a good haircut can really take care of that. My hairdresser also suggested that we use heating products as rarely as possible. And that means that probably you also need to wash your hair as rarely as possible. I usually go at least 3 days without washing my hair. Sometimes I actually probably could even go 4 or 5 or 6, but I don't want it to stink, so I don't do that. But she did say that if you can wash less often, then it will actually make your hair so much healthier. Now, what I do to dry my hair is I use a diffuser, and that really helps my hair to dry kind of naturally. If you use a diffuser like I'm doing here, what you're doing is you're just applying some of that heat that's just really spreading out. It's diffusing over your hair, so it's not blowing your hair, and it lets it kind of dry with its natural waves and curls in it. That leads me to the next tip that my hairdresser gave me, and that is to get a style and a haircut that allows your hair to do what it naturally does, if that's possible. Now, I know some of us just have just hair that just kind of lays flat. If you don't do anything to it, maybe you need to do some styling. But really it's only been in the last couple of years that I've really decided, you know what, I think I just want to style my hair in a way that looks a little bit more natural. I can still pull out my straight iron, my flat iron, and do that style if I want to sometimes, and I probably will. but it's going to take care of my hair better. It's going to keep it healthier, I do believe, if I will use this diffuser and just let my hair do what it wants to do. So I just go around my hair very gently, diffusing. I'm applying some heat, and then I have a little button on my hair dryer so that I can apply a cool, some cool air. And that cool air is what sets in those waves, those curls, whatever you have. And so you want to apply the cool air last before you pull the hair dryer away from your hair. Now, if you don't have a diffuser, here's a tip that my hairdresser also gave me. This one was mind-blowing. She said if you don't have a diffuser but you want to try it and see how that would work for you, get your kitchen colander and try that with your hair dryer. So here you can see me doing that. I have a small one. If you have a big one, doesn't matter. She says she sees people online using all sorts of things. So you want to use this colander like you would that diffuser. So maybe just put some of your hair in that colander and then take your hair dryer, put it on kind of a low setting, medium to high heat. And then you're going to do the same thing that I do. So you're just going to blow that, the heat into the colander area where your hair is. And then also they'll blow some cool air in and just kind of back and forth, ending with the cool air. Take the colander away if you need to scrunch up a little bit. And you can do basically what I'm doing here with my hair, but with that colander. Now, I did a little bit with the colander, and then I put that aside and use my diffuser. But I do think that's a good thing to try if you don't have a hair dryer with a diffuser and you want to try this out. So it really is smart, I think, as we get over 50 and we're wanting to have kind of a modern, natural hairstyle that just looks fun and fresh. I do think after we're 50, or just, as we get older, there's no magic age, but as we get older, that more relaxed hairstyle, that more natural hairstyle is going to make us look a little younger without us trying to look younger and therefore ending up looking foolish. So it's just really going to make you beautiful to kind of go with those natural waves and curls if you have them and if you want to highlight them and use them. My hairdresser also said, once again, along those same lines of not washing as often, she said, if you are a woman who washes your hair every day and then therefore you use heating products on every day, to try to go a day without washing it and then, wash it every 2 days and try that for a couple of weeks, see how it works for you, and then maybe stretch it out to like every 3 days if you possibly can. More than likely, if you think your hair is getting oily between washes and that's why you're washing it so often, she says it's probably because you're overstimulating that oil production in your scalp by A, using all those heating products on it every day, and B, just by washing it and stripping it of its natural oils. And so your hair is your hair follicles, your roots of your hair are replacing that oil because you're stripping it away. So if you'll just give it a little time, make it a little experiment, try to go a little bit longer without washing your hair, you actually may find that you can do that, and the texture and the strength and the vibrancy of your hair might actually improve with some time. Now, another question I always get, so I asked my hairdresser this, is what's the best haircut for any given woman? Like, how do you know how to find the best haircut? And she said, of course, you want something that flatters you, so just I always just kind of hold my hair up and look and see. And I had done that before I got my hair cut off this last week. I just kind of held it up to see what I thought about it being chin length and everything. And I liked what I saw. And then, of course, I asked my hairdresser's opinion too. So that's a good thing too, is just to ask your hairdresser, find you a good, knowledgeable hairdresser who styles hair in a modern way, and ask her opinion. But you also want to ask her, what does my hair do? What does it want to do? She had a good time telling me about how her mom has some different cowlicks. Don't I do too? All through your hair, you get those little places where your hair wants to go a certain way or other. And if you'll just let a hairdresser help you to work through those places and help you figure out what to do there, it could make all the difference. So what I do, honestly, is I just go through my hair with that diffuser all the way around. I do my bangs, I smooth them out just so I can work with them a little bit better. And then after I've done all that, if I need to, I will use a curling wand. Now, a curling wand is a little different from a curling iron, just in case you don't know. And that is that the curling wand, you're actually starting the curl kind of towards the root of your hair instead of at the end. So with a curling iron, you start the curl at the end and roll up. With a curling wand, you're going to start towards the root of your hair, the base of your hair, and then add the hair all the way out towards about an inch or two away from the end of your hair is not even going to be there. So that kind of gives you more of that kind of a beachy wave. It's kind of, kind of that natural wave look, and that's what's so appealing about using a curling wand. It just is a little bit more modern looking. It's not quite as pat or set looking. It's more natural waves. So I do that if I need to, and what she suggested was, the next tip she gave was to do something with your hair. She said really up until about the time of COVID, the pandemic in 2020, she said it was interesting. She said probably 50% of women that she knew just didn't do anything to their hair. She says since the pandemic that more and more women are doing their hair and that it's a good thing, that we need to put a little effort into our hair. She suggests putting about 5 minutes into your hair each day if necessary. And one of the things that she suggested for me, and she said would probably work for so many of my viewers, would be just to take that curling wand and add maybe like 8 little waves around your hair. So I just take a little strand of hair, like in the front, do a little curl, then I go back to a little bit, take another strand, and I curl it the other direction with the curling wand. So like maybe one goes back, one goes forward, the next goes back, the next goes forward. And that gives you to where you're not getting that Farrah Fawcett, everything goes back look. It's a little bit more of that natural wavy look instead. So now here's, I've done my hair for you today, and then right now what you're seeing is, I think it's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours since then, and I have not, touched it again. I haven't taken the hairdryer to it, the curling wand, the curling iron, anything. I haven't done anything else to it. The only thing I do is I take my fingers and I go through my hair and I just kind of get it to do what I'd like for it to do with my fingers. I just kind of shape it into place, and then I might put a little hairspray on there if I need to. So that's really how I do my hair, is just with that diffuser, maybe sometimes with the curling wand, and then my fingers. And I can always actually even pull some of the curl out if I want to. And I've gotten to where I kind of like to put it behind my ears, just so there's not so much curl in the front of my face, and I can, it opens up my face a little bit and puts more of the waves and the curls back towards the back. I kind of feel like it's setting me off a little bit more like that. Now, another product by Hair Biology that I use is their Argan Oil Taming Serum. So one of the reasons I like this is, another tip my hairdresser gave me, is that what's really modern right now is to have some body, to have some fullness in your hair, but then to tame it down a little bit. Not, you don't want it to just be too much. And so as you can see, when I get through diffusing my hair, there's a lot of wave and a lot of curl. Now that usually dies down as the day goes on, but I have found that applying just one little squirt of this argan oil, rubbing it between my hands to kind of heat it up just a little bit and disperse it a little bit, and then I just gently, like I said, with my fingers, go through my hair with that product, getting it all over my hair. That oil does several things. It closes up some of those hair follicles. It just, it really makes them more healthy. It gets that bend out that I mentioned before of how our hair has that kind of a damaged look. It makes it not look as wiry and, kind of spidery all over my head. And I think it really does tame it. And also, I think it just kind of gives me a pretty shine. I love the shine that this argan oil gives too. It kind of locks in some moisture, and it just makes my hair feel so much healthier. You can apply the oil also to wet hair, but then I think you probably don't want to use heating products on top of that. I would suggest if you're going to use a heating, tool like a hairdryer or an iron or a wand or anything, you'd want to use that first and then apply the oil. But you can also apply this oil the next day or the next, just to kind of freshen your hair up a little bit and once again get rid of that wiriness. So I hope those tips have been helpful to you today. Boy, it's a dilemma, isn't it, getting older, but it's a good thing. It is an empowering thing, and that's one of the things I love about Hair Biology is they also are pro-aging. So be sure to check out their products through the link below, and I'm so appreciative to them for sponsoring today's video. But of course, all the opinions have been completely my own. Like I said, I've been using these products for a long time and I really love them. Thanks for visiting today, ladies. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you will do that. Ring that little bell, and that way you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video, which is every Wednesday. And I'll see you again really soon. Bye now.